Today we have a new electric car for test. Well, not so new. It's been around for a few months, but new for us because we just got our hands on it. Launched last year, 2025. Very interesting product, and I'll tell you why. Because if you look at it, it looks like you could mistake it for some other product, some other vehicle from the Dragon Nation. And I'll say this because the last 2 days we've been test driving it, we bumped into a few friends, and before they looked at the badge, one of them remarked, was it brand A, which looks very much like it, square, boxy, jeepish looking. Another one said, oh, brand B. And I said, no. And then someone in our family actually said, is this the upcoming brand C? And when I say upcoming, I'm talking about a Chinese plug-in hybrid that is making a lot of waves in the Middle East because it's got that boxy, jeepish look with a lot of accessories that make it look like a very rugged vehicle. But all the three vehicles that others thought it was are actually sitting slightly higher, a little bit taller in terms of the glass area, and still they thought it was that car because of the metallic gunmetal grey finish, the little red accents around it, the two-tone 21-inch wheels, and of course that boxy profile. And the boxy profile has become very popular with a lot of new car manufacturers today because it creates a lot of space, and somehow or other it attracts a lot of attention with new car buyers. So let's get to it. You'll probably see the logo on the back pillar. So that's the logo for Smart. And if you look closely at the bottom of the vehicle, you see the small word there, BRABUS. BRABUS is a tuning company from Germany, from Essen, and they actually have been tuning vehicles. Now they're doing restoration, of course, for Mercedes-Benz. But they've opened up a whole new market with other German automobiles. But this is the Smart #5. Yes, this is a brand new smart car. We've already seen two other smart cars, and they had normal versions and BRABUS tuned versions. BRABUS tuned versions. I must say the word BRABUS properly. It's a very strong German name. And now you have the #5 with a BRABUS tune. Now, you know that the Smart brand is also in partnership with Geely and Mercedes-Benz, which means a lot of this car is very close to the Mercedes GLB. That's a 7-seater, this is not. And it's also a direct rival to the Tesla Model Y, which is supposedly a bigger vehicle. And then you have the BMW iX3. So these are the direct rivals to this vehicle. Now, being a direct rival to them also means that this is sold in Europe and sold very well. So it's not one of those Chinese brands that are having a hard time getting into the European market. Smart has been there since day one because why? It was a Mercedes brand to start off with. Geely came in, Geely made it electric, Geely put in a lot of their features. Geely has made this very much a product for the global market. Now, let us go closer and share with you more information. Very interesting design language. Very interesting. From the light treatment to how it flows right across the car, the rear spoiler, camera, the bumper treatment, the rear red accent, even behind the number plate, there's design elements. Then of course you have the BRABUS name, #5. They've really taken a lot of effort to make this SUV very unique. Now, in this segment, you have a lot of rivals from the same nation, and they all look alike. They're all, curvaceous, rounded, I would say almost, a dolphin-like shape. So when you spot them at night with their almost similar light treatment, a lot of times you can't tell who's who, what's which model. until you see the logo or the badge, or you get a closer look and then you say, ah, it's this model, that model. But this smart #5, you will notice it immediately. As long as you know what it is, you'll notice it immediately because it's a very, very unique design in that realm. But of course, like I said, it shares a lot of similarities with some other brands which are not electric. So, to start off with, you have this interesting color. You've got that, that SUV-like look with the roof rails. You got that big wheels. You got that slightly above ground stance. But let me show you some interesting smaller things that you start seeing with this car. Come closer, Mr. Cameraman. Now, we'll start with the boot space. Now, if you want to open the boot, the rear, you can of course take out the key from your pocket and open it. But here's the interesting thing. There are no areas here where you see a button or a little knob or something to open it. So how would you open the rear? Smart has been smart about this. S-M-A-R-T. In the alphabet A, the center of it is a button to open it. How clever is that? Now we've put in we happened to just buy an office chair recently. So we kept the box to show you how big this boot space is. I'm going to take out the box and then you'll see how big the space is. Loading luggage, not a problem. And then you got this quite deep space inside, which if you don't have your charging cables in them, it's actually a lot of space to put small backpacks and of course your charging cable, but you can also put that in the front, which we'll show you later. And it's lined nicely. Look at it, how well it's lined. And if you want to drop the seats, your little tabs here you can pull and the rear seats drop to create a lot of space. Now, one interesting feature I want to mention, this is what in Europe it's called a ski hatch, but this is basically an opening for you to put stuff in and out. This hatch, I must add this interesting feature. It's magnetic. You open it, you close it, it's magnetic. Now, I've not seen this in a lot of premium cars, and this is the thing which leads me to believe that the guys at Smart really thought about little things to give this car a little bit of edge over its rivals. And I'll take you inside and show you some more interesting things about this car. You'll notice pillarless doors. Come closer. The door handles, when they pop out, you have the word Smart here. Just small little things, small little features that make it stand apart. Get inside the car and you'll notice how much space is in here. Now on top of that, you actually have electric seat adjustments in the rear, which are similar to the one in the driver's side. I'll show you later. To open and close the door is just a little button. You have the Sennheiser speaker here. Yeah, this car has got a Sennheiser speaker system, sound system, so it's really good. You got microfiber here, beautifully done with red stitching. You got this, carbon fiber look. You got soft touch panel up here. You got a nice, I would say, finish here with the door handle. Even here, the paneling is soft touch. It's not hard plastic. Even here, it's not hard plastic. This is what makes this car stand out among its European rivals. I'll add the word European rivals because you don't see this in the European rivals costing more and not delivering this level of, I'll use the word sophistication. Headrests, microfiber material, roof lining, door panels. You've got leatherette, false leather, but feels really good. Soft, microfiber inserts, red seat belts. When you come into the front, Like I said earlier, door adjustments are here. Sorry, seat adjustment is here, electric. Again, Sennheiser speaker system, soft touch material here. You got to touch it for yourself. Microfiber, red lining. Again, soft touch. You shut the door. I've left the key here simply because if you get in and out of the car with electric cars, if the key is with the person, the car locks by itself. So I didn't want the car to lock while I'm, showing you the inside of this car. Now, there's another Sennheiser speaker system here. This is the main woofer, heads-up display. This is the key, like I explained earlier. Beautiful screen. And here's the best part. You get two OLED 13-inch screens. Two OLED 13-inch screens. Now, one is switched on. The other one, I'm going to switch it on now so that you can have a look at it. There you have it. So that is for the front passenger to have their own little entertainment. There's some games and everything else in there. That is something for them to enjoy. You have this huge aircon vents, this beautiful detailing here to use the aircon vents. Steering wheel, flat bottom, BRABUS, red stitching. Again, beautiful material and fit. And I just have to say this. The build quality and the way it's put together is really premium. There's even speakers up here. So the sound system is awesome. You got a full length sliding cover for the panoramic glass roof. Now, full length means that great airy feeling when you want it. Not when you don't want it on a hot day, of course. But having a full length sliding roof means on a hot day you don't get any heat coming in, and you don't have to worry about going to an aftermarket tint shop to get 3 layers of tinting just to get rid of this, because some of these cars that come with this big glass sunroof or panoramic roof, they have problems with heat coming in because they don't have a proper cover. So this guy has it. Sunglasses holder. Even this is lined beautifully. It's all premium. It's all premium. It's all very, very high tech. So I mentioned earlier the second screen. This, from the driver's side, you actually don't see much of it because the way it's designed, OLED screen. But for the passenger, very clear, very focused, very usable for them to get some entertainment. Now, you can also use this screen when you're charging the car, you're sitting alone. You say, okay, I'm going to just move along here and use the screen to entertain myself while the car is being charged. As you can see, the seats are just beautifully put together. You've got 2 charging places here for 2 handphones. Another smart move. A lot of manufacturers have it, but they also have it. Then you got this space below here, and here they've got a little, badge to tell you what's powering this whole system here, the chip. And then you got your charging points here. All the varieties are here, and you got another little tray here. So there's a lot of space for you to put your stuff. For women, you can put your handbags here. And I have to note this again. When I use the word premium, look at that. Even down here is soft touch material. Even for the glove box, the inside, it's lined. Why is it lined? Because if you have small items or like keys or whatever inside there, when you shut it, you see it shuts with a nice start. After you shut it, when you're driving, you don't need to be clanking around, because a lot of even premium guys don't line it. So you have the plastic noise coming from whatever inside there, loose items. This one you won't get it. They've really taken a lot of thought to make this car as premium as possible. You have this nice headrest with the BRABUS logo on it that says you got power in your hands. Center, when you open this, very Mercedes. This is something that you see in Mercedes. There's even a little slip here. Now I'm going to show it to you how it works. You can insert your card there. Now I've put in my touch and go card, but you can have your, maybe you want to put your battery charging card, your membership card or whatever, or even your touch and go card like I've done here. Now this makes, some sense because why? They thought about it. They said, hey, people driving will need this. So a lot of thought has been put into this smart #5, and I like the fact that it's ticked nearly every box. But has it ticked the box of driving dynamics? Because we've always said that electric cars tend to have less driving dynamics because of the weight of the battery. Now this car is 2.3 tons, 2,300 and odd kilograms. It's heavy, but does it drive like other heavy electric cars? We'll come to that in a little while. Meanwhile, let's get into the back seat. So earlier we put the seat down, now we put it up, very easy. And we're going to get in. Now, look at the space. Just look at how much space there is in the back. Legroom. Okay, I'm not very tall, but even if I was taller, look at the space. And this seat has been pushed way back. So I want to show you the kind of space. So if you go in the middle, of course, you've got aircon vents here, charging points. But here, we've put the seat slightly forward. And when we get in, look at how much space. Curved in, nice little slot here, but it's all soft touch. The leatherette feels premium, even though it's leatherette. It's nicely put together. You've got a little, if you come closer, Mr. Cameraman, you can see, you've got even a reading light here that you can rotate. Can you see that? This is something you find in an Airbus or a Boeing plane, something, a nice little feature. But I think, hey, nice lah, they've thought about it. And all you need to do is tap it, it comes on, tap it, it goes off, nice feature. Little thoughtful features. Now, you see a little button here. So let me show you how interesting this car is. This little button activates that seat to go far forward and for this seat to recline. Okay, it's reclining now. Now I'm going to show it again. Show it with the button, cameraman. So I just do that. And I'm reclined at the back. Loads of leg room. Loads. I can literally, lie down. That seat goes so far forward. So what does that tell you? This can be a car that is used by some boss or some executive director and be chauffeur driven. And the fact that this car has been designed for that shows you that Geely in China is targeting a lot of well-to-do people, corporate people, company owners, to use it as their chauffeur-driven daily car instead of using a large, bulky MPV. So you have another option. Great, isn't it? Now let's go into the driving cycle of this car and the software system there. So let's talk about the technology of this screen. First things first, I take some time to learn screens because I'm not as young as some, people who use this car. But this is what I want to show you. It's very fast to learn, amazingly fast to learn. And I found it very interesting on how quick it responded. So I'll give you an example right now. Look at this. Look at this. Look at how quick it responds. So, okay, that's your navigation. So you know where we are right now. Okay. How quick that responded. It'll tell you where the charging points are and everything else. So you can go into that and you can search for the closest charging point. Volume control is here for the audio system. You can also use the one on the steering wheel, And we've got another 458 kilometers to go. It tells you what was your last trip. Now, if you want to go into your apps, you got Apple CarPlay, you got Android Auto, you got your radio function, you can choose your stations, you got your video center, It's got a lot of functions. It's got a lot of interesting functions. Let's go to settings. Okay, so you can set like any other electric car, even new cars that come out of the China right now. They got a lot of fantastic technology. So adjustment for door mirrors, your head-up display, you know, you can set it whichever way you want it, your brightness, your angle. And then you got your hard adjustment buttons which you can set, your driver setup, you know, what kind of you want, regenerative braking, high, low, eco mode, comfort, sport, of course BRABUS, which is what most people want when they want to get some excitement. But one feature you must realize, it's also got off-road. Why has it got off-road? Because this is four-wheel drive and it's supposed to be an SUV. So they've actually got it, you know, set up for that. So I'm going to get out of it quickly because we don't want to go into off-road mode. I'll leave it in eco because I want to save fuel. You got your lighting systems to adjust, okay? And all the time you can play with this and you can adjust all these little things. Ambient lighting, which is inside the car. You can set it up. You got so many choices, okay? You got your driving assistance, which is all your, you know, safety lah, you know, the beeps and bops. So you can adjust it to what you want, what you don't want, you know, depending on how you want to be on a daily drive. Your vehicle settings, again, this is a shortcut to go from eco to comfort, sport, BRABUS, and of course off-road. Your steering control, you want auto, you want light, you want medium, you want heavy. So if you want something a little bit heavier in terms of feel, you can adjust it. Amazing, isn't it? Regenerative braking, brake level, auto hold, everything. You even want to do your one pedal drive, you can check it. Sound system, fantastic sound system, like I said. Sennheiser, one of the best sound delivery people in the market. It's in this vehicle. You don't have to go aftermarket and upgrade anything. You got the speaker system, the balance fader, everything. You got to listen. You got to get into the car and listen to it. On video, you can't enjoy it, you know. It doesn't make sense at all. So you got to go into the showroom and try it out. I like to always go a little bit more to the back, you know, to get a little bit more the front side to be a bit less. Get the bass at the back because I like a bit of bass in my sound. So you got general, then you got your energy. This is very important. You're driving electric car, you must learn how to work with this. We've got 85% left of power left. So you can do your schedules, you know. You can do your scheduling for your charging. You can tell when you want to leave. Your charging current. And your settings. Now, a lot of features, a lot of technology, and ready to work in your benefit, you know. So a lot of information here. You got to live with the car, understand it, and then you start enjoying the whole electric car ownership. This takes a little bit of time because why? It's a whole new level of motoring. With an ICE car, with a petrol or diesel car, you know it already because you've been driving for some time. So when you get into this, you got to start learning it. So now we go for a little drive. Now this is the BRABUS version, but I'm not going to speed because we're on public roads. But I just want to give you a little bit of a, you know, video taste of how this car performs. Look at that. That's a 3D, 3D camera. Can you see that? Amazing, isn't it? Of course, you got your normal camera there, but you know, this is the kind of technology that comes out of Chinese electric cars. It's just next level, next level. Quiet, as always with electric cars. See the 3D? Interesting, right? That alone is entertainment for some people, and you know, if you get some passengers in, they'll be entertained with that because it's something totally different. Look at that, look at that. Pure entertainment, pure entertainment. Okay, so let us get out of here. Going to give you a short taste of acceleration. Look at that. That's just freaking insane, right? Because this car does 0 to 100 acceleration in 3.8 seconds. Can you imagine that? 3.8 seconds. That's insane. That's supercar territory coming from this boxy, family-ready vehicle. 3.8 seconds. You know, so it's fast. You don't have to worry about thinking twice whether it's fast enough to challenge your friend or someone else on the road which you know, that you have that moment of being a road bully lah, if you want to lah, you know, or just want to challenge somebody. Nice firm brakes, and you see it rides over bumps much better than some other electric cars. I don't want to mention them, but some electric cars really ride over bumps badly lah, badly. That's because of the weight of the battery and the way the suspension is tuned. But this smart car, they've got the tuning really nicely done. Because why? It doesn't jar, it doesn't wallow. It feels almost like a non-electric car, and that's what a lot of people that come from driving a petrol or diesel car say. Why do electric cars drive like this? You know, I mean, they want to save the environment and, you know, don't use so much fuel and just use a charging station, charge at home and all that. But when it comes to driving dynamics, a lot of people get disappointed with the cars they buy, the electric cars they buy, because when you test drive them, you're all excited. You know, you don't really think about it, but when you start living with them, then you say, oh, it's terrible. The road condition, I feel it. But this car, nice. Very, very livable. And the acceleration is intoxicating. Because why? The acceleration is like a sports car. Or even, you know, some of those high performance electric cars, very close. And here's the best part, is that it's just 250,000 ringgit in our country. 250,000 ringgit for this version with all these lovely features, this spec, this quality, this technology, and it's got a, you know, latest charging technology where you can go from 20 to 80 battery in just 18 minutes.
Calculating the route.
You got voice activation also. Look at that acceleration. Quite insane, right? And you got to be sitting behind the wheel to feel that, you know, that pullback. Is just intoxicating. And all that time, the ride is very good. You're not missing it if you're coming from a petrol car. You're not missing anything. Because this electric BRABUS Smart #5 has hit the sweet spot of tickling someone like me to think, hey, maybe finally I found an electric car that I can live with, I can own, I can use. Because why? It's got 500 over kilometers of driving distance. Best case 590. If you think about it, 520, 530 easily achievable on a weekly basis. So that's pretty decent. If you go outstation, you use single pedal, you do regenerative, maybe you get slightly better. You can reach Penang easily, you can reach Singapore easily from Klang Valley, you know. You got all these safety features. You just heard it, you know, when a motorcycle goes next to you, when a car comes next to you. And this is what you want. 250,000 ringgit. Go into a showroom, take it for a test drive, listen to the sound system, get a feel of the driving dynamics if you can, or if the salesperson allows you, and you will be tempted to buy this car.